Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folari. It's a bit like continuing our conversation from yesterday when we, had Chief Sarah Igbe in the studio. This time we're looking at another sector of the same conversation. But let me start off by introducing my guests. Comrade Razak Olokoba is a public affairs analyst, and he wears many caps. I guess the one we'll be deploying today is the Secretary Coalition of Odua Self-Determination Group.
Thank you, and good evening, Wazato.
Indeed, thank you very much for coming. And sitting right next to him is Oluka Odesalako. He's convener of Patriots for Truth and, there you go, Stability in Nigeria. That's a loaded one. Truth and stability. Okay, we won't go in there. Maybe it'll come out as we proceed. Now, in talking about things of this nature, we're all divided up into all these zones, these regional zones. Is it early to be talking about this? Because in fairness, there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And then in 2019, an eye on 2023, there are those who actually criticize that, why are you talking about this now? It's far too early, almost inappropriate. Let me kick off. I want to get both you gentlemen, I want to get your perspective. Let me start off with Razak.
Well, there's no time people can talk about their future. Building a manifesto is not a program of 1 month. It's a program that can lapse 20, 30 years. You keep adding, you keep subtracting, particularly with the particular policy we play in Nigeria, where demands of all the regions and ethnic groups have not been properly harmonized. So it is better to start debating it now. What do I want as a Yoruba man? What do an Igbo man want? What is the mistrust between the Hausam, Fulani man, and the rest of the nation? So if you debate it early, you do a lot of the nation good. Areas of fears, areas of challenges and misunderstandings will be sorted out long before elections will come, such that camps will be identified, and then we begin to offer Nigerians programs and policies of what they intend to do when they get to power. It is, we have complained bitterly about the jamboree of election promises when a month to election people campaign and we will give you borehole, we will give you road, we will give you... These are not programs where a nation that runs a continental economy like Nigeria should be given to people. We should have a debt. So talking about 2023 at this moment, in a way that does not affect the ongoing program of the current administration, is permissible. We can be talking about it and can run your government without interaction, without interference, without contradiction. It is permissible. I said it that bearing in mind that we have not harmonized the demands of each region as a nation. So it's an opportunity for us to harmonize early enough before election will come around.
Okay. Okade, how do you see the question of, as I said, it's a... There were those who are saying it's a genuine question. Say, look, what gives? Why now? And there are those who are saying, why not now? Just along the lines that Razak has enumerated. But is it a useful concept? Is it helpful? Is it useful?
Well, thank you. In democracy, there is no particular time democracy has fixed for people to advocate or to start asking or talking, to know, to have an idea, about who they want to govern them, who they like, who they prefer. It took President Muhammadu Buhari consistently 12 years of keep talking about his ambition and aspiration. He kept working about it. He didn't keep quiet about it, and he didn't hide it from Nigerians that he wanted to be the president of Nigeria. It took him 12 years. And for those that are saying it is early now for Nigerians to start advocating, to start talking, to start asking, to know who, to have an idea of the character, the vision, the personality, of who they feel should take over from President Muhammadu Buhari. when he finishes his 8-year tenure. Don't forget, President Muhammadu Buhari is in his 5th year now. And so, if out of 8 years, a president has spent 5 years out of 8 years, and people are now saying it is too early for Nigerians to start advocating. No, mind you, the factor of the social media revolution is there. You can't stop people. That medium is a place, is a free space where people can throw anything.
Anything reasonable,
anything
legal.
Reasonable.
Because as you know, there are efforts to quote-unquote regulate.
Once it is not hate speech, and it is not fake news. But once it is just about, I can wake up in the morning and decide to say, why can't Yori Folarin be the next president of Nigeria? I think I'd like him to be the next president of Nigeria. That is advocacy. It doesn't mean it is official campaign time yet. Because I'm not INEC. INEC has not declared.
People aren't even, and what is your opinion on this? People aren't really zeroing in, narrowing on candidates yet. I think it's a matter of, in terms of our, arrangement, the regional zones, whose turn is it now? And people have very strong feelings.
Yes.
So that we'll come to the matter of candidature later. But can we just sort of agree?
We have to be guided by our experience. That what we have been experiencing and experimenting in the past, which one is most workable? Did you get it? Now, with due respect to the previous alliances, we have to learn a lot of lessons from it. The North-Southeast Alliance, the Civil War, the North-South Alliance, almost Civil War, then the North-Southwest Alliance. What we have gotten is what we are getting now. Cementing the nation, stability, things are working fine. So why do we want to break such alliance? Why can't we sustain it? And it is an opportunity for other alliances that has not to work so well to also learn from it. That if this alliance has worked for 8 years, let's sustain it. So if you have an 8-year alliance for the nation, it's not too bad. So flowing from that, other alliances that will come out of it, a country is always a model. So you learn models from India, models from all over the world. So Nigerians will become a model for all other nations that have multi-ethnic tendencies like us now, in content like us now, that, this is how to go about it. That it's a regional thing. We have come to identify that we are a nation with people of different identities. How do you work out? Go and learn the Nigerian model. So I will talk to the nation. If it had been the other way around, we will still say so, that alliances of North and so has worked. Let's follow it. But at the moment, the alliance on ground now has been the one who will give the highest pass mark in the history of Nigeria. So for the interest of all the nation, we must put our hands together to make sure we sustain it, we protect it, we allow it to germinate, such that we're beginning to have a nation. There will be no truncation, there will be no cry, there will be no agitation. What this government has done now, this alliance has done now, is that to make sure that all the regions are assuaged. In the last 4 years, there were complaints. But the second tenure has brought about persuasion, has brought about placation, has brought about political compensations. So let's begin to locomote it. We don't have two nations. We have another nation apart from Nigeria. And as a patriotic Nigerian, what we should be doing is to ensure Nigeria works. In fact, the rest of work are saying that you must work. You are 2.something% of the world population, the highest 7th in the world and the most populated in Africa. So you must work. So, and the way to make it work is to keep doing things that will make it work. And one of the things that will make it work is to ensure that this alliance works. For people of other regions too, who have come from other regions too, the best buy for 2023 is the Southwest. That's the best buy. The North.
Okay, because I was going to come to that. Do you have any notions? Do you have any ideas as to where, and you've just started on that, as to, quote unquote, as we put it here, whose turn is it? And you have just started on, you are saying that the Southwest would be the best buy.
Yeah, that's the best buy. Now, the North, why the North? Because we must speak to the region in specific term. The region has always been blackmailed that they have a penchant for not following agreement. They break agreement. So this is an opportunity, a golden opportunity to show to the world that the Hausa Fulanis, the entire tribes in the north, all in the north put together are honorable people. People who honor agreement, people who look at you in the face and say to you that in 10 years' time, I still stand on what me and you have agreed today. So this is an opportunity for our brothers also in the other region. There is the need for us to also learn one thing, that if you agree that at this moment the ovation should be given to me, when your time comes, it is just natural. It is natural to not say that, and his principles objective to not say that the ovation comes to you too. So if you follow this trend,
okay, interesting, because Razak was talking about learning from our experiences and how well agreements, understandings have stood up in the past, and that we can take from that and make our decisions today. By the way, you were saying that President Buhari, in his quest for the presidency, long arduous quest for the presidency, he never hid it, never hid his ambition.
He kept pursuing it.
We don't have a similar kind of a situation now, do we? People are thinking more of the question we're talking about now, where the region which would be much more than the personalities. We're not talking about personalities yet, or are we? Is it?
Well, let me just say this, that this topic is a preemptive topic, because the ruling party has not actually come out to give us an idea of what the pattern of the arrangement is going to be.
Probably because there are more pressing matters. Probably because there are much more present and pressing matters.
No official statement yet, even from the north to the rest of the nation, saying maybe, we are ready to relinquish power back to the south or not. No official statement yet. From the ruling party, no official statement. From the southwest, no official statement. Even from the like of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Muhammadu Buhari, Adams Oshiomhole, nobody is talking yet. It is still the citizens that are building that interest to know where the pendulum of the power shift is going. And for as long as there is no official statement from the necessary quarters yet, whatever we say here today is going to be based on our own personal opinions. And so in my own opinion, I am going to say it this way, that the North holds the axis. I mean the decision to either decide to hold on to power.
Is that a function of numbers?
No, I'm coming.
Okay,
I'm coming. You see, the North holds the axis because, one, it is in their hands lies the power now. They are the beholder of the power right now. And it is going to be with them for 8 years. 2, 20 will always be greater than 17. The North has 20 states out of the 37 plus Abuja. The South has 17. So anytime there is an election, we should all know that the 20 will always be greater than 17 in terms of electoral value. Then 3, the North has more number of voters, large voters, than what we have in the South here. We don't give birth anymore in the South. They are still giving birth to plenty of human beings in the South, in the North. 4, they have more number of local governments.
Wait a minute. We don't give birth anymore.
We don't give birth. We don't give birth anymore.
With the work that Alhaji Olokoba is doing, you notice I changed it from Razak. I changed it from Razak to Alhaji Olokoba.
Well, I know.
Pregnant with meaning.
I know that culturally, in terms of the Western culture, that we have decided to adopt more in the South here. An average in a family, you can see maybe 3-4 number of children. But in the North, you still have a family having about 40, 50, 60, 70.
Wait a minute.
When it is time
Wasn't
to
that
vote,
a bit hyperbolic?
when it is time to vote,
Which one is that? How can you have 70? How can you have 60? How can you have 50?
I read it on social
How can you
media.
even have
I read
40?
it on social media recently.
Indeed, how can you have 30?
Where a man has 80-something children.
That is an
80
extraordinary instance which will happen anywhere.
Have you heard that in the South before? Have you heard that in the news in the South before?
Okay, I'm going to come straight back, but in the meantime, Emmanuel Inotukwo has joined the conversation as he did yesterday. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Chief Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to your guests in the studio.
Sure.
Good morning, sir.
Our democracy is growing, and I'm happy about it. It is not too early that we're talking about 2023 elections by now. It's not. It's a sign that we're growing in the democracy and good things are about to happen. We learned some things during the 2019 election that just passed. In that 2019 election, we jettisoned micro-zoning. And now we have come to terms with zoning between North and South. And that is what we are doing. So we have to discuss it now so that we can get the best by way of merit that will represent us and continue with the good work that Buhari is doing. So we have Southwest, Southeast, South-South, and I keep saying it, that we are going to get the best out of one of these zones to represent us and take over from Buhari. The North, by the grace of God, we are very, very political, and we will look at the best candidate that is coming from the South and we'll queue behind him so that this country will move forward. Buhari has started a very good foundation and want a competent hand, very competent hand, to continue with the structure so that Nigeria will grow. Thank you. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling in.
So on the question of strength, is the experience of other
Numerical
places?
strength.
Yes, has taught us. Taught us a lot of lessons that civilized nations don't subdue views of other people based on the strength they have in numbers. They allow other minorities to dominate. As on the basis of that, we have spoken extensively to our northern brothers that I don't have any fear that the North may say that they want to come back. I don't have any fear that they may say that, because they have also seen what has happened all over the world. And I know that the Northerners are civilized people. They are people who understand the concept of stability, the concept of how to move a nation forward, and how to move a nation forward is to respect the demands other people are bringing on the table too. So, and how to respect this is not by subduing or pretending or enforcing or coercing your views on other regions at all times. So our argument is, if you have had it for...
It's interesting the things you said in those last 2 or 3 sentences, because it ties right into his organization about truth and stability.
So flowing from that, I know very sure that that honor and that pedigree of the president, he will want to sustain it. That corruption is not only about stealing people's money. Corruption is also saying that taking 90s between 2 people who are supposed to share it equally. You get my point? That corruption is not only about stealing money. It's about, I want to share 10 things equally, and I take 9. And I think it's equally. So I know the president is the kind of man that will say that. Then on the issue of whether we should be talking about individuals or not, for me, I don't want anybody to take the decision for me again. In 1999, the decision was taken on behalf of Yoruba people, and somebody was forced on us for 8 years. This time around, I want to take active part in who is going to represent and decide for my fate and say, I'm using Yoruba ticket for 8 years. I'm interested in it. People are floating Asiwaju. People are floating Oshibajo. People are floating Fashola. Going by my own assessment of the 3 candidates, I'm very comfortable with them. But to wake up one day and see the poster of someone that I know that my interest is not protected as a Yoruba man, it's not as if I want to allow Yoruba man to fester than equally. We want Ijo, Alta, Takpa, Igbo, Fulani to have equal access to Nigerian resources. That's my aspiration.
Okay. In the last person who called in, that was Emmanuel. He brought up the matter of merit. But before we go into that conversation about merit, Mazi Okorafo, thank you very much for holding on all this while. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sayori. Good morning, Mr. Saloko, and good morning, Comrade Azak.
Good morning, my brother.
Morning.
My brother, good morning. You see, it is not too early for 2023 in Nigeria. We all saw what happened in Britain, our colonial masters, when they started their own campaign about this election. So today we have seen the results that the Conservative Party is leading. Now that one aside, now you have seen what's happening there in America. Joe Biden and Trump, that's for next year election. You have seen what is happening now. Trump, impeachment, saga, inquiry, and the rest. Now all these things are ahead of the election that is coming. Everybody's trying to. Now you come back home to Nigeria. You see, losers of 2019 should now strategize for 2023. Do a test or run what we call a referendum test on their own and see between now and 2023 whether they will be acceptable or not. Because this issue of a crash program when we come to in terms of campaign, because of such crash programs bring a lot of problem in Nigeria. What do I mean by the problem? All this issue, rigging, not rigging, fighting, killing yourself. Because if you have strategized yourself ahead of election, you know yourself whether you be accepted or not, either to continue or to what? To relax and back other people. But because of our level of education, we still think all these old theories. Now you ask yourself, what we saw today in Britain that is going on at least we have seen how the situation room, how they are reporting everything, everybody's seen it live and direct. Now, we as in Nigeria, as we tell our pressmen, the journalists, the media, anybody should borrow what is happening there in Britain today. And even the INEC, they should also borrow. Even Nigerians, as I say, they look to it, should borrow exactly what is happening. Because we have seen everything is going to clear them. Now, for the individual person coming up with, if by Nigeria they will decide now either to restructure Nigeria between now and 2023, or you decide that the 6 geopolitical zones will restructure everything, everybody. If it is your own turn, be prepared. See what Nigeria wants, see what you are going to do for 2023. Because this issue of garbage in, crash program, it should be a bye-bye story. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day and a fruitful weekend in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okorafor in Arochukwu. Yeah, as the speaker before, Mazi, had brought up the whole matter of merit. You know, this is one of the challenges of our area, where because there are going to have to be negotiations, you know, compromises and that kind of a thing, I don't know that people necessarily in our society here, or shall I say our societies, put merit at the very, very top of the list in going about, you know, their search. I guess you guys are looking at the Southwest, and if wishes were horses and beggars could, you know, ride, you guys would say it's the Southwest, right? Yeah.
Yes, from what we've been hearing, from the rumors.
But even the turn, sir, in terms of the turn.
From the fillers, fillers from the social space. But I said something earlier on. I said there has not been an official statement.
Of course not.
To that.
You also said that, quarters. So these are all your personal opinions.
So these are our personal opinions. But I listened to Yerima Shetima yesterday in one of the interviews he did with an online,
Yerima Shetima.
That is the president of Arewa Consultative Forum.
Arewa Consultative Forum. Arewa Consultative Youth Forum.
And he has not hidden his own opinion about whether power is ready to come back to the south or southwest or anywhere in the south or not. What Shetima has been saying is that the north is still behind, as far as he was concerned, that the north is still behind in the number of years their presidents have spent since 1999. He said, since 1999, Yar'Adua only spent 2 years. That is the late President Yar'Adua, only spent about 1 or 2 years. The President Obasanjo from the south spent 8 years. President Goodluck Jonathan, the former president from the south again, spent 6 years. So if you add 8 years plus 6 years, that is 14 years. He now said that we should add the number from the north. President Muhammadu Buhari is on his 5th year now, going to the 8 years, plus 2 years, 1 or 2 years of Yar'Adua, making about 9 or 10 years. That is the case he was making. He now said from that calculation that he was still insisting that the rest of Nigeria should allow the North to still hold power for another 4 years, so that the numbers could be equal at the end of the day. That was his own opinion. He also said the North had not benefited anything from President Muhammadu Buhari's presidency administration so far. That the chunk of what has been the benefit of his administration has been to the Southwest. He said the Southwest had been the one benefiting everything from the president's administration. Now, he was not saying that he didn't think that power should be ready to come back, to leave the North. And that is the reason I was talking the other time when I said the North holds the axis. If the North decides unanimously through an official statement that, okay, after President Muhammadu Buhari's 8 years, the right thing, as my brother has been advocating, has said, the right thing, that thing of honor, is that power should be allowed to come back maybe to the Southwest or any other part in the South. That will be coming from the North. But so far, there is no official statement yet. It is certain individuals that have been talking. Some have been talking for the power to come back to the South, especially Southwest. Some northern leaders have been saying, no, it is not yet time for power to leave the North. So, whatever we are saying here is based on our own personal, the way we see it. So the way I see it is that the honorable thing is for the North to say, okay, we have been in charge of this power thing for 8 years. Let us give other parts of the country, other regions too, the opportunity to have a feel of it. But from what we have been hearing, from what I've been listening to, from different opinions, in the North especially
on social media.
Especially on social media. But definitely videos don't lie. When social media still has videos, still has TVs, and people go there to talk. So Yerima has said it, that he did not think power should be ready to come back to the South. But we are saying that if it is true that the arrangement in APC, because the arrangement in APC might not be the same arrangement in PDP. As far as the ruling party is concerned, what we've been hearing is that after President Muhammadu Buhari's 8 years, the arrangement is that power should come back to the Southwest. It will now be the turn of the Yorubas. But Yerima was saying that when President Goodluck Jonathan accepted to run the remaining tenures of the late President Yar'Adua, that they expected him in the North to resign when President Yar'Adua died. That he should have resigned for him to be honorable, for the South to be honorable to that rotational zoning arrangement. But that President Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, did not resign. So that President Goodluck Jonathan's tenure was the North's tenure. These are the cases he was making. But the fact of the matter is this: that is from his own personal opinion. And I'm not sure if he has spoken officially from Arewa Youth Consultative Forum.
I know you want to add
so
to
the
this.
North owes the aces.
Can you please just hold your horses? Let me go on a quick break. Be right back and we'll continue with this. Stay with us, please. Okay, welcome back. And looking at this topic, I think it was established from yesterday, and I think you've alluded to it today because we're talking about numbers. No one region can sort itself out on its own without reaching out. right?
That is what democracy is all about.
So,
without
consultation.
You see, the
But
prominence.
whether, you guys have spoken about trust before. You've spoken about experiences from previous understandings and arrangements. But did you also say that, by and large, where we are now, you feel, there's integrity, there's honor in the subsisting agreement?
The British, in Britain, there are nations in Britain that have less than no figure. But they gave recognition to them. That's why they call United Kingdom. Island of Man, Scottish, West, that when you don't live there, you won't hear of so. But they give them, if there are national days where they celebrate for them. In America too, the indigenous people, the Red Indians, are celebrated. They are in minority now. So, and there are countless examples all over the world like that, that it is civilized to know ownership must be honored, and the respect I should give to you as a co-owner of Nigeria is that you must have a sense of belonging. To have a sense of belonging means that the leadership must go round. Now, by proxy or by direct leadership, North has been there since 1999. It got there, and it was a proxy to the North. It got there by their proxy, by their support. That's what I mean. That without the support of the North. So they all sway throughout 8 years of Obasanjo. Now, when Yar'Adua died, Ajona came on board. It was also the program of our northern brothers in alliance with the Ijaws that ran that government. So when Buhari is also there too now, as a northerner, we are running a program of alliance too, where we say this is a program for the entire nation. But it's seen as a Hausa-Fulani Yoruba government. So by proxy or by direct participation, the North has always ruled Nigeria since 1999. So the argument is not a superior argument that is coming from some other people that they not even have much number. We all know that it is the support of that gets anybody to become the president in Nigeria.
Definitely.
And so the content of the program and manifesto, 80-90% of it is designed by the northern brothers. So, and what we are saying now is that the question of identity, the way to sort it out, is when you give recognition to all these differences. If you give recognition to all these differences, that's what brings about patriotism. When John Washington called the Americans that, what is your dream of an American? I said, don't call me nigger again, the black man. They harmonize the Caucasians, treaty, the red, the white, all of them. And that's what's called American today. So, views of all of us matters when it comes to leadership and how to carry all of us along. Let's not continue to captain, but the way to captain is when to stoop to conquer, is to give recognition to other ethnic groups. So using your strength, the way to use your strength in a civilized manner is the way we have recommended. Allow other regions to come on board with your in alliance with the program of the North. That's when we are going to have in Nigeria.
Okay, one moment, please. Good morning, Mr. Yakub in Dokwemo, I believe.
Yes.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. And then Mr. Razak Olokoba.
Mr. Yakub, good morning, sir.
The other day in the studio.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah, yesterday I was of opinion that says that it's too early to discuss 2023. My opinion is that, yes, some of us support this government, as I said yesterday. We support them because of fight against corruption and all that. And then we support them because of we need a good governance. So, but in a politics, majority carry the vote. Why am I saying that? Some of the caller and then your guest this morning made me to know that it's not too early. So that's an idea that probably in Yoruba, maybe Mr. Rata will help you to translate it. We say that you see, I was saying that. Let's begin to talk about it. Yesterday, one of my friends, my good friend, Reverend Dominic, talked about that. I was saying that because of IPOB, none of leaders from Igbo land, from Southeast, that condemned the attitude of IPOB. I was not direct my statement to all the leaders, but there is a particular leader coming from that region let me say socio-cultural leader, those people that call themselves Igbo constitutional, I forget their name. So they were not coming out in total to say what this guy is doing is wrong. Yes, Reverend Dominic said something that is so damning to my mind yesterday. Yes, we need Mary. 1999, as Mr. Asakolo
are you talking about Ohaneze Ndigbo?
Yes, thank you very much. God bless you, sir. Ohaneze Ndigbo. They were not coming out fully to condemn what this guy is doing. Do you understand? I don't believe that when this guy started all this nonsense, Ohaneze Ndigbo come out and issue the statement that you should stop all this nonsense because we are not going to back you up. See, Reverend Dominic is my friend. I respect him so much. He said something yesterday that is so damaging to my mind, as I said earlier. 1999, yes, Yoruba had a president. Mr. Yeri Shifjori, as I normally call you travel from Lagos State to Abeokuta today. You will know that the president comes from the Yoruba land. That road should not repeat the way it is today. But I would say that, Shifjori, I said yesterday that politics is game of number. It's game of number. And then one of the guys just said it is studio. Did not have the number. Whoever wants to become president in this country must align with them. If you don't align with them, you're on your own. Why? Because they have the number, they give back the way they like. Yes, we don't permit them to do so. It's their own prerogative to give back whatever they want. But I would say that, theory, come 2023, Yoruba people, we know how to play our politics very well. Yeah, you know that was saying what he said. It's wrong. It's totally wrong. If you calculate the military era together with the democracy era, you will know that they did not have getting so much time, so much a year in being a president of this country. You want to talk about Murtala Mehmet, you want to talk about Gowan, you want to talk about Abubakar, you want to talk about Muhammadu Buhari, talk less of Abubakar, I can go on and go on. So those are the military. But
okay.
It is only God Almighty Allah that will give us a very good leader. And then I believe in Yoruba that we have so many of them that can be able to lead this country to right to. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much for calling in. And what he has said, what he ended with, is true of not just Yoruba land. It's all over the country.
Yeah.
Just like the man from the Niger Delta sat down here yesterday and was, nobody can quarrel with the fact that they have the intellect, they have the capacity, they have the men, just about every society in this country would also boast of the same. And this is where the whole question of merit comes in and how much weight we are going to be able to apply to it. And sometimes politics takes precedence over merit. That I think perhaps, I don't know if you look at, if you agree with that, Kade, that sometimes there's a sense in which we, quote unquote, do ourselves because we don't always put forward the best. And if people are saying it's too early now, at least here we are talking about it, and we have all the time to address these matters. Do you think any such thing will be addressed? Because there is a pattern of merit not necessarily being top of the totem pole.
Yes, when we talk about the issue of merit, it's about how the ruling party, the All Progressives Congress, has had it in the arrangement. We all know that the Southeast doesn't have much to say in whatever the arrangement the APC has, because we know where their own political alliance has been. It has been the kind of PDP kind of, system. But in the APC, everybody knows that the alliance in the APC right now is more between the Southwest and the North. So, if anything meritable is going to be achieved at the end of the day for 2023, it is the ruling party that will make sure that that gentlemanly agreement.
And that is what it is. An agreement, not necessarily a contract.
Gentlemanly. That's why I said gentlemanly. Because, as I said, anything that is not constitutional is unconstitutional. But every party has rules. Every political party has rules of operations. Mm-hmm. So maybe in the APC, the agreement, the founding and operational agreement is let the North first of all go because President Muhammadu Buhari's administration is the first presidency that will be running for APC. That is the first one. So, APC started in 2014 and did not took it. And, it's running it for 8 years. Maybe the arrangement, because it's not official, I told you. The APC has not spoken. So, maybe the arrangement is, let the North, first of all, take it. When the North finishes its own 8 years, let it now come back to the sister alliance, partner, which is Southwest.
Okay, one moment.
We all know that Southeast is not in that arrangement solidly.
You think so? You think not?
I think so.
Because when I hear them speak, they...
No, APC is not strong in the Southeast.
Okay, one moment,
all know that.
Mr. Mohammed, Mr. Mohammed in New York. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Am I on to TVC, yeah?
Yes, you are, Mr. Mohammed.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, thank you a lot for this program. At least a lot of us not being home. This is the only way we get a clue about what is really fishing in the downtown, right? I just want to make some reference regards to some of your callers, in so many occasions, the fellow called Yakubu, whatever, I don't know. Now, what I'm trying to tell you is a lot of us, we may have our parents based down in Nigeria. I'm from the northern part, Nemotum Beach, I'm from Kano. In reality, what I'm saying is you don't claim you know somebody than himself. Every time he tries to raise or maybe make an observation, the way he tends to be so close, he doesn't know Buhari at all. He has to minimize the way he discriminates, otherwise I would say bring down other tribes just to make a point. That's not the way he works. He talks about the Igbos, right? Nigeria is mostly, even though we have 3 ethnic groups, the Igbo, Yoruba, we have other languages there. Democracy is not about, even though we say it's all about majority, but that's not a priority for one to continue to marginalize certain kind of people. The world is growing, my brother. The world is listening. Everybody's eyes are on there. Yakubu must take the way he propagates the Hausa people. He should mind how he made his comment every time. That's not the best way to... You have to be fair when you analyze the issue.
Okay, Mr. Mohammed. Mr. Mohammed, I wanted you to land, but I was a bit confused because even as a policy here, nobody would marginalize any people and get away with it. So I'm a bit surprised and confused, actually. Talking about the other caller, marginalizing, demeaning, that doesn't happen, not on our program, not on our station.
Sorry, don't get me wrong now. What I'm trying to... Hello?
Yes, I'm still here. I can hear you.
Thank you very much. What I'm saying is, right, we all know what is going on. I know you media guys try to be very, very kind of trying to be fair when you analyzing your stuff, yeah?
Okay.
But what I'm saying is Yakubu don't know the mind of Northerners.
Okay.
Yakubu
do you think
as far as
Yakubu
Nigeria is concerned?
Do you think Yakubu that you are mentioning? I was going to, sorry for interrupting you. Could you give me an example, please, of how Mr. Yakub, has quote unquote crossed the line?
Yeah. Thank you very much. He make a reference. Hello?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Yeah, the reason why I have to call this period was I couldn't take it, right? He made a reference about the IPOP. He talked about these people didn't come out to denounce.
Okay.
No reference, memorize your memory back. A lot of them stand to say, look, the agitation this fellow is doing, not for we all. Do you understand? So what we say is that even if you support a party here, even in downtown New York here, when we are concerned, we have everybody, even the people who represent us, when they come to us, right, they go message what we want them to deliver, and they have to fight for us. Same way, even if it's APC person, he should have a limit the way he speaks.
Okay.
Because the whole world are listening.
All right.
I mean, he's not a Hausa portrait to say he carry Buhari. He doesn't know Buhari Besen Shiva.
Okay.
I'm a Northerner, but I'm not pleased when people cannot even, the reason why they get away with what they're doing is people are deprived from education. We can't sit and see where leaders exploit the citizens to enrich themselves.
Mr. Mohammed, I don't want to spend, Mr. Mohammed, I don't want to spend too much time, but I wanted to get to the bottom of it. Is it that you are saying that the person that you are referring to he supports President Muhammadu Buhari far too much and he doesn't even know him? Is that the point you are making?
Thank you very much. What he is trying to do, what he is doing in the real Hausa, we call it eye service, right?
That's not Hausa, that's English.
He can't be doing eye service.
That's English.
Let's call it spirit.
Okay, okay.
This is about future. This is about the country.
Okay, so I think it's safe. I think it's safe to say that you disagree with not just Yakub, but anybody else who, you know, is flaunting his support for President Buhari. Because Yakub will talk without any shame. He will say unashamedly. He will say things like, "I'm a diehard, you know, Buhari man," and on and on and on, you know. And there are other people like that. But having been patient, so as not to be guilty of, as it were, squashing a critical voice, I wanted to understand what exactly Mr. Mohammed in New York was, what his complaint was. And I think I got to the bottom of it that he doesn't like how some people are, as it were, the high praise for President Buhari.
Maybe myself too.
Yeah,
the
high praise for President Buhari, and he is, as it were, hitting out at, in this case, one of those callers that you don't even know the guy. And he's saying that, look, he probably knows him better. He's from Kano. But again, those are the kind of things that we have to get on top of, actually.
Well, I think the caller is called from the nature, the social nature of where he's living.
Yeah, okay.
Yakubu has been talking from the social nature of where he has been talking from.
And
so definitely, Yakubu might have to say some things that would maybe pitch his own nature.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel Yakubu has only been expressing himself.
Which is exactly what you two gentlemen have been doing. And that's
he
what
feels
Mr.
it,
Mohammed
he
also
cooks.
did. But
I
I think he came in because he was annoyed. That what's this Buhari? You don't even know him. You know, well, okay.
You don't have to
know
his
him.
His work
but you
can
could know
make
his
you
work.
like him.
Yeah.
So like what we've been, back to our
the
topic we've been discussing. That's one, other caller and other previous caller been saying that what is the justification, and why do we think that the North, just like what you have said, that shouldn't have come back to come and complete their time when they have strength to do whatever they want? And our already answer for it is that we should look around the world today, that there's always this kind of population imbalances all over the world. You won't see people with numerical strength do such a thing. They bring everybody together, they captain the ship, they advocate stability, they preach peace, so that other ethnic groups will have respect and regard for them. And that is the part Buhari is doing.
Okay, let me bring in Austin as our last caller. Good morning, Mr. Austin, in Benin.
Good morning.
Augustine, I beg your pardon, I'm so sorry.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Augustine.
Yes. Please, I'm just listening to your program right on. And the argument between, yes, okay. Yes, I'm calling from Benin.
Please continue. Don't listen to the echo.
Okay. Yes, the presentation of Yakub and Muhammad as well. Yes, it's just unfortunate that the Nigerians are yes. Okay. Nigerians are yet to learn from the actual our fathers who founded this country. The country was founded on the basis of unity. country was based on the plan of unity. And it's unfortunate that because of the utterances of some of our people, yes, and because of all this unexpected and what is unexpected of people that they are saying, that these things are going around, we need to look back. We need to look at the foundation of this country and then realize where we are going, irrespective of where you come from. Like the other young man was saying about APC dividing, sitting down within themselves. A party is not to sit down and begin to divide the country and begin to do whatever they like in the country. You have to consider the other people. You have to look at the effect. What is the effect of governance? What is the benefit of reaching out to the people, making the people to be happy? That is what we should be looking at, and not about one-sided and so on.
Thank you very much. I want to thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much for the admonition, and I think it's a fine place to leave it. That we should be detached and be. He's gone back to merit again and the concept of unity.
That was a nice, democracy is a game. It's a game of power.
It is.
If you are not in that game to play with them, you don't expect to reap the benefits. That is the point.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
So,
okay, thank you very much, Comrade Razak Olokoba.
It's a pleasure being with you.
Secretary Coalition of Odua Self-Determination Group.
Thank
you thank you, Mr. Lukayode Ezekiel, I might add.
Yes.
Salako.
Thank you for having
convener,
me in the
Patriots for Truth and Stability in Nigeria. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for sharing your perspectives. Okay, so that's our program today. Please join us. Well, actually, it's on Monday, and Nifemi, will be in the seat for a while. I'll see you later. Bye-bye for now.